It's a track.
Yeah. This is 3375. Bring the beat in. Oh. Without missing 3375. Yeah. Yeah, we in too deep. Legacy, yeah, we in too deep. Yeah, we in too deep. Legacy, yeah, we in too deep.
Welcome to In Too Deep with Mr. 3375, and I'm sitting here with my man, comedian,
Benny Blanco Perry. Peace.
Benny Blanco Perry. I had to do that because I couldn't get it right, so the point thing happened. So, tell everybody about yourself, bro.
Stand-up comedian, actor. Been doing this about 12 years.
12
years? Yeah. Okay. A little longer than that, but professionally for 12 years.
Okay. What made you decide to get into comedy? Take us through that whole process from the beginning to your first stand-up.
Alright. I was basically like a latchkey kid.
Okay.
So, you know, for the people, they can't do it nowadays. But for the people who don't know, latchkey kid is a kid that, you know, you go to school, you got your key for the house. When you get out of school, there's nobody home.
Right.
You let yourself in. Whatever you're supposed to eat that day is already pre-ready. All you gotta do is put it in the microwave, warm it up. So I would come home, either read my comic books, play video games, of course do my homework, but I just watch TV and movies like constantly. So, and I ended up getting fascinated by it to the point that, you know, it kind of grabbed me. And I just, you know, I've been a fan of it and I always wanted to do it as a kid, but I always thought that everybody was just discovered. You know, I didn't know that there was places to go to, you know, auditions. So I thought everybody on TV was just like, one day someone was like, hey, you got something, kid, come here. And, you know, that's how I thought it all went. So that's basically, you know, in a nutshell from the young age, you know, and just watching Eddie Murphy and, you know, my uncle playing Robin Harris tapes and just, you know, different movies and seeing, you know, like Richard Pryor, you know, watching him in the Superman movie, and then like I saw him first in that. I didn't know he was a stand-up comic, and then you go back and start seeing more stuff, and you know, it's all I always enjoyed making people laugh, and having people make me laugh. So it's just something I always just, you know, I gravitated to it.
Okay. So what was the first place you did your stand-up at? In front of family, you know?
First official set?
Yeah.
First official set was at the Richmond Funny Bone.
Okay.
It was 12 years ago. It's called the Clash of the Comics now, but back then it was just open mic night. You paid $25 to perform. I was a correctional officer at the time, and while I was in the academy, this lady, because I would be in the class and I'm doing impersonations of Dave Chappelle from Chappelle's show, and you know, I'm saying little stuff. Whenever the instructor walk out, you know, it's my time. The same way I was in school. I was always like that in school. I would finish my work, you know, pretty fast, and then just sit and start doing stuff and picking with people and saying stuff. So, you know, in that class, we one of the days the instructor walked out, and I was just sitting there, you know, condoleezza and rice. Condoleezza and rice sounds like a Mexican dish. Maybe we should send to Mexico so Mexicans eat her, you know, all that, and just the whole Chappelle thing was just in there playing around because that's what everybody, you know, liked in the class. And the lady was like, you know, she was like, you real funny. She was like, have you ever thought about doing stand-up? And I was like, yeah, I wanted to do it, but I don't know what to do with it. And she was like, well, the Richmond Funny Bone is, you know, right around the corner because we was in Goochland. That's where the academy is. Correctional Officers Academy is in Goochland. And she told me about it, and you know, I checked into it. It was 20 minutes away. I didn't do my first set while I was at the academy, but that May, you know, I went and tried it out, and I timed out that first time. I went over my time, but you know, I did pretty well. Then I got second place the second time, so I was kind of like, yeah, I like this. You know, I enjoyed it, and I've been hooked since then.
Great. That's the only place you play? Have you traveled?
Oh yeah. I've done Gotham Live up in New York, Broadway Comedy Club in New York. Did a few open mics down in Atlanta.
Okay.
Flew out to Chicago a couple years ago. I was up there for a week.
Right.
Got to feature for Mike Bonner up there. Okay. Used to be on Comic View a lot. Got to open up for EPMD with Larry Gabb a couple years ago down in South Carolina. What else have I done? North Carolina, South Carolina, Maryland, New York, Chicago. Haven't done any shows in Jersey yet.
Okay.
So I've been mostly East Coast. Yeah, but I'm slowly.
Right. So when you go to these spots and you meet other comedians, do y'all build that bond?
Yeah.
Like they do back in the days. Like I hear when Charlie Murphy and Jerry Seinfeld and George Wallace best friends. A lot of people don't even know that.
You wouldn't put those two in the same space,
right,
and that's kind of how it goes. It's a real brotherhood. Of course, you have your little tidbits of scuffles here and there, but for the most part, funny is funny.
Right.
And if you funny, you're gonna connect and meet with people. And like majority of the shows I do come from doing somebody else's show. Right. And somebody sees me and they pull me to the side like, hey, I want you to come and do this. Right. All right, no problem. Give me a day, give me the time. I'm on the way. Right. And from there, different comedy competitions and seminars and stuff like that. And you meet people, and then of course you got social media nowadays. So, a comic I may not know about, but one of my friends knows about, and it's like, well, yeah, that dude funny too. And I send them a friend request, because you never know whose city you're gonna end up in. And it's been like, even in Chicago, the guys I met in North Carolina at the seminar was some of the same guys that was in Chicago. Right. And when a couple of my friends, they went to California a couple months back, a lot of the comics they had met different places was all in California. So, and it gets to the point where it's like, oh, I am amongst friends, so I can really have fun, because I know we all pretty tight with it. So
where do you get your material from? How does your writing process, or you just come off the dome sometimes? Because most comedians, like I would never sit in the front. That's a victim to me. I keep my mouth closed. I just laugh. Like, how you get your material?
I base my format basically off this. Like, I'm 34 now. Okay. So I got 34 years of stuff to talk about. Right. And experiences, and I find ways to make it funny. It may not be funny, but I find a way to make it funny, Right. And I've been doing it anyway, but they pretty much say that's the difference between a comic and a comedian. A comic says funny things, but a comedian makes things funny. Right. And that's what I can do both. I can say funny, retarded stuff all day, but then I can also take experiences that may not necessarily be funny, but still find humor in it and exaggerate on it to the point that it, is funny for the masses. With my writing process, I basically, I'll write an idea. I got a couple books where I've written jokes in. I got about 4 or 5 books. But then nowadays I've gotten lazy, so I'll put it in my notepad on my phone, which is a double-edged sword, because I lost like 200 jokes doing that. The phone did an update. Right. All the jokes got wiped. I was like, damn. But at the same time, I was like, well, I got more, and it's my thought process, so I'll never truly forget it. Right. It's just I may forget it for the moment, and then it comes back up. But I usually can just write an idea and expel on it for 5, 10, 20 minutes, depending on the subject. Right. And I just, but I do, shout out to Fat Doctor. I do have a comedy mentor. I only went to a couple of his classes, so I'm kind of like one of his dropouts. Right. But he has a whole writing process and game plan to get you ready. Right. So it's just picking up bits and pieces here and there. But I usually, if you paying me, then I'm kind of gonna make sure I got a solid 10. However much time you want, 10, 20, 15, ready to go. But then I also know that it may not be the material for the crowd in front of.
Right.
So I learned to judge the crowd.
Right, that was going to be my next
Yeah.
question. You know, how do y'all judge it? You know, do you know beforehand is it going to be all white, teenagers, all black? I mean, of course, with black, you can pretty much,
Yeah.
you know, because
black people are this crowd.
Right.
Black people look at you like, man, I can get up there and do that.
Right.
Like, come on, brother.
But they don't know it's the hottest job on the planet.
Yeah, because, you know, even the musician, yeah, he can sing a cappella, but most of the time he got a band behind him.
Exactly.
He got the beat that gets you moving before he even says anything.
Right.
You know? But I usually, even though you know, one guy said, "Ah, man, you should be in the back when you're at a show." I'm like, nah, I like to see the crowd coming in.
Right.
I like to hear what they're talking about, see what they ordering to eat, see who like already laughing at what, see what issue. You know, I'll sit and I'm a great, you know, judge of character, so I can tell like this is a crowd that I can't really curse that much in front of.
Right.
This is a crowd that's not gonna like the raunchy jokes.
Right.
This is a crowd that's not gonna like something that may be semi-political or smart jokes.
Right.
You know, so each crowd is different because it's the majority of the time there's always a total different crowd that sees you. But I just I usually come with a general idea. I may pick 3 or 4 subjects that I know will fly, because you got universal subjects that everybody can do.
Right.
You know, so we've all been a kid.
Right.
So anything from that time frame, it's not going to offend anybody.
Right.
If anything, it's going to send people down memory lane. Like, yeah, I did that too. I go roll my bike into the shed, and my grandpa did this, and you know. So it's one of those things. Like I got a newer joke I do about cereal, and because it just somebody said something to me about it one day, and I was like, bet. So you know, and on my pad it just says toys in the cereal box.
Right.
But then from that few words, I can expel out 5-10 minutes.
Right.
Of my experience with toys in the cereal box. And then, so I would say 90 to 95% of the time I'm freestyle.
Okay.
But I still have that source material, and it's just, I go with the crowd. Sometimes you gotta go roast mode.
Right.
For the past 2 weeks I've had guys talking during my set, so I had to scrap what I was doing.
Right.
And all right, let's give you that attention that you wanted today. So let me let you know, yeah, you picked the wrong one today. So
you ever thought about like doing your own like special, you know, because you know, like a lot of rappers, independent, you know, trying to get started, they make their own CDs, pass them out. You ever thought about
I got a DVD. And it's an hour. I gotta get some more copies of it. Kind of sold them all.
Right, but that's good.
Yeah, so you know, and I got like 200-300 more hours worth of footage that I haven't even went back and looked at and edited or tried to put together to put in the DVD format. But yeah, I got a DVD that's an hour, and it's just different places around, you know, Virginia, North Carolina, wherever I perform, DC, Maryland, and just, you know, just something to have, you know, for merchandising purposes.
Right. How's the scene here for comedians in the city?
Because
I know, far as music wise, it's hard. Is it the same?
Richmond is one of them cities that, you know, you just I mean, love it. I've been in Richmond 7 years.
Right.
You know, I moved up here a few years back, and Richmond is one of them cities that it's a lot of factors determine them, you know. But when you do get the love from them, you know you earned it.
Yeah.
And they, you know, and then they gonna rock with you.
Right.
The people that rock with you gonna rock with you. You might not get but 2 a year.
Yeah.
You know, give it 10 years. Hey, I got a crowd of 100 people that really roll with me. But it's the scene is a great scene, man. It's a lot of comics. You know, a lot of talent. Black, white, Spanish, LGBTQL. RST, LMNOP, the whole community. So, and it's very accepting, you know, so they don't shun anybody for, you know, their social beliefs or their political beliefs or their religious beliefs or their sexual beliefs. So it's almost all inclusive. And we're all trying to figure out, all right, how do we put these butts in the seats? But it's a few people that have mastered the art of doing that.
Wow.
And, you know, we all just sit back like, all right, so they did this and this work, you know. I learned the 10% law, you know, if you pass out 100 tickets, 10 people will show up. If you pass out 1,000, 100 people will show up. So you gotta, you know, that's the basis of here in Richmond. But it's still a great city, and it's a tight-knit comedy community. Of course, it's still people bump heads here and there, but for the most part, it's all.
Yeah. So who's your the one person that you want to open for, comedian-wise?
Between probably right now, I'd say either Martin or Chappelle, just because they're from DC and that's where I was born.
Okay.
So it's to see them knowing it. That's why I was born. Even though I was raised here in Virginia, that they stuck with it and they both got superstar status in their own light, and were able to transform it into the movies and into TV, and really just touch millions of people. So yeah, either one of them, and which they both were students of Fat Doctors. So it's like I'm connected with their teacher, but I just won't go to class.
Cool. So with that being said, so you have that title actor too. So you've been in movies. Or
yeah, I've done a few music videos, 2 or 3 music videos now. I did an independent film a couple years back. I was second lead male in that, which was a great experience for me. I just got to go and do some more auditions. But with that, I auditioned just to be comic relief. Right. I had 2 lines, and they were like, "All right, read your lines." So I read my lines. I was like, "Okay." I went, "Yeah, hey, give him this piece of paper." And then they gave me another line, like, "All right, read that." I'm like, and I read it. All right. Give him this one. So I read 4 different scenes. I went from being the comic relief to the security guard, from the security guard to the doorman, and then from the doorman to second lead male. Wow. Just off of the one audition. So I got to be the side guy in the movie. Greg Marquez, they made me Spanish for some odd reason. So yeah, the movie was Ballin' in the Fall of America. When Everything Else Fails. It was a sequel. Ex-brothers, Jamil X. Player and Ahmad X. Morton. Ahmad's a poet, and the first movie was more poetry based, and the second movie was more like a full-length feature film. So I'm not in the first one, but I'm in the second one. But, we premiered it at Bird Theater a couple years back, so that was big for me to see myself up on a movie screen. Okay.
Was that more a comedian movie or more serious?
It was more serious, but I had a slight spot where I threw a little comedic stuff in there. But that was my character was the co-worker of a young lady in a troubled marriage that kind of said all the right things and worked his way in, and they had their affair or whatever the case may be, and then later down the line, some things happen. It's a good movie though. It's definitely a good movie. Not to tell too much.
If you haven't seen it yet, tell me the name of it again.
Ballin' in the Fall of America When Everything Else Fails.
So what's next for you?
What's next? I just had a book show last night. Just did Independent Arts Festival last week. Next month I have Sunday Funnies down at Kazi's Comedy Club in Newport News. That is September 22nd, I believe, for Sunday's Funnies. And then I got to do Wonderland Comedy, which is right around the corner here in Richmond. That's October 27th. That's the 2 big ones I got coming up as of right now. I have to double check my schedule to make sure. That's why I'm really bad with that. I got to because some days I'm looking at my phone like, oh, all right, that's for sure today. Well, let me go and
need a manager for me.
Yeah, I'm working to it. I'm gonna eventually have to get one because it's website wise, it's a lot of things that I got the talent all day. So now I'm getting to the business side of show business where it's like, all right, I need website. I got my business cards. I need website. I have 2 YouTube pages, but I need to keep content on. So it's a lot of different. I'm still a work at art. A good comedian friend of mine, Bam. He's like 22 years in. Michael Bam Bam White, And he's like, man, you got to look at it like a human being. Like, he's like, I'm just now able to drink with my comedy career. I'm 21 years in.
Wow.
He's like, so you 12 years in, so you pre-teen, you just at the level of starting to kind of figure stuff out.
Right.
And you know, of course, you have there's a few people that the stars align and they straight to the top, so to speak. But for the most part, it's a building process. Right. Like I was doing it years before I even got my business card. Oh, wow. Years before I did my DVD. Right. So it's it's a work in progress, and you do your bits that you can do while you have the chance.
Right. So this part of the show I call shout outs. You got any shout outs you want to give out to the camera? Okay.
My mama. Because she on Facebook now.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, my mom on Facebook now, so that's a whole new experience in its own, and she'll just pop up. I'll be saying something silly or something off the wall, and then you just see her pop up like, what would Jesus do, son? It's like, lady, come on. My mom, my family, my friends, my production manager over here, Miss Paula with Larry Gav. Shout out to the whole Larry Gav family. Fellow comedians, just everybody, man. It's my cousin CJ, that's one of my #1 supporters. I definitely got to shout him out personally, because him and my cousin Latasha Williams, there's a few others, but locally, I got a cousin in Carolina that does comedy, so shout out to him, Kareem, Bishop Omega. I'm a people person, I try to help whoever I can, so just shout out to everybody.
Cool. What's your information so people can look you up and find you?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter is all Benny Blanco Perry, BENNIE BLONKOE PERRY. Email bbperry67 at Yahoo. I don't have Google. I got a Google, man. I just don't use it. Yeah, that's my email.
Yahoo.
Definitely. Yeah, I know. It's one of the things like you said, Yahoo, nigga, get some Gmail. Just be Gmail.
I have my Yahoo mail too, so yeah, definitely.
And open for bookings, available if you give me the time and date. I'm there
for everything, not just stand up, but movies too.
Yeah,
commercials, videos.
yeah. That's what I'm really trying to get into now. Next is voice work, because I do a couple impersonations. Okay. So it's a lot of different things you can do. You can do that in your house,
right? And
send it on off to the studio and wait for the check to come. So I'm definitely going to be doing some more voice auditions. Well, some I haven't done any yet, and more acting auditions and stuff too. So it's this young dude out of Virginia Beach, got to shout him out too, Leonard Oops. Right. When I say snowball effect, right, like he is on a super snowball effect. So I'm like, look, why he got the door open?
Right.
We need to, so as soon as it looks like it's about to close, 4 more of us need to be walking through. Right. So that's the goal. I was just talking to, shout out to CJ Richardson too. I was just talking to him earlier.
One of the biggest Cowboy fans in the
city. Yeah. He just had his show at the Funny Bone, and he's talking like, yo, we gotta get together and we gotta figure out a way, man, to get the butts in the seats, because we got the talent, and collectively we have enough people to really do something major. So that's what we're working on. Cool. Shout out to my boy Remo too, on the way to see the Vikings and stuff. So cool. It's a couple, solid people I rock with.
I appreciate you coming through, brother.
Man,
anytime, come back. This is where right now we profile, like we do all the time, a missing child. And thank you for coming through. We're in too deep with Mr. 3375, Legacy TV, Legacy Internet Radio, where independence is the key to building your legacy. Until next time.
Yeah. Mr. 3375.